our turn at the Final Four is good, stop turning into something it's not. San Antonio, when Sister Jean encounters high schoolers trying to decide where to go to college, she often tells them not to worry, that something magical will occur in the process. You don't know what it is, she said Friday, but you know you belong there. The same could be said for the 98-year-old nun, whose evolution from Loyola team chaplain to undisputed star of the NCAA tournament has to be one of the most unlikely, and refreshing, stories the event has ever had. Despite growing up in an era where social media and instantaneous communication wasn't imagined, let alone available, Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt has embraced her newfound stardom as if it's the most natural turn of events. She smiled brightly as she was wheeled into the packed room for her media availability Friday morning, with 150-plus reporters and photographers. It was easily the most crowded session of the day. As the microphone in front of her was adjusted, the moderator asked Sister Jean if she was ready to answer a few questions. "Oh, you better believe it," she said. More, Sister Jean of Loyola Chicago believes God prefers the NCAA to the NBA more. Porter Moser compares Sister Jean to Tom Brady at the Super Bowl more. Meet Loyola Chicago's cohesive starting five. The world has become so hard and cynical, however, that there are some who will look for negatives in everything, and not even Sister Jean is immune. There were some Friday who were indignant at her opinion that God is probably a basketball fan more of the NCAA than the NBA. Others suggested Sister Jean was hogging attention from the players, posting a photo of the standing room-only crowd for her media session alongside one of Ramblers guard Mark Towns in an empty room. Never mind that their sessions did not occur simultaneously, with Sister Jean finishing 5 minutes before the Loyola players began. Or that the Loyola players are Sister Jean's biggest fans. Her aura is so bright, Domty Ingram said. She sends emails after the game, generalized and individualized, letting you know what we did well and just to keep it going and instilling confidence in us. Obviously to have her support, it's great. She's like no other, he added. We're happy to have her on our side. The thing is, we all could use a Sister Jean on our side. Someone who's a passionate supporter of everything you do yet makes you realize there's a world greater than the one you occupy. Someone who reminds you that the simple things sometimes mean the most. Someone who shows you that life can be lived well at any age. This is the most fun I've had in my life. It is, Sister Jean said. It is just so much fun for me to be here, and I almost didn't get here, but I fought hard enough to do that because I wanted to be with the guys. Has Sister Jean had more than her 15 minutes of fame at this point? Possibly. Her face now adorns everything from t-shirts to socks, and the company that made her latest bobblehead has sold so many of them that Sister Jean joked its owners could retire when they're finished making these. But what of it? If you're sick of or outraged by an entertaining and engaging 98-year-old woman who was an integral part of Loyola's team long before the NCAA tournament began, you probably ought to take a hard look at yourself first. Better yet, just mute your phone or TV when she comes on. College athletics is often a nasty, seedy enterprise, as we are reminded by the continuing fallout from the FBI investigation that revealed fraud at the highest levels of college basketball. But not everything is ugly. Not everything has something sinister lurking behind it. There are still some things in the world that are simple and pure. You cannot expect them, and you certainly can't predict them. Sister Jean didn't go looking for the attention. She didn't ask for people to line up and take selfies with her these last few weeks. She didn't request to meet with the media. It's all just happened. Like magic. Follow USA Today sports columnist Nancy Armour on Twitter @NRARMOR.